Hey, what's going on, team? So, I'm excited that you guys started your 21-day challenge or signed up for your 21-day challenge. So, I sent you guys all an email that stated a lot of different numbers. The top numbers are notes for me and myself. The bottom three numbers, though, are what you guys need to attack it to be successful through your 21-day challenge. And those numbers are your proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. The CHO is carbohydrates, PRO is protein, and FAT is obviously fat, right? So now you have a number that's allocated right next to it that's going to be, it's going to have a G right behind it. That G stands for grams. So that number, whichever number is in front of it, is how many grams you are allotted for that said macronutrient. So if it has maybe 200 grams of carbohydrates, well, throughout the entire day, that's your daily allowance. So that's the only amount of carbohydrates that you're allowed to have throughout the entire day. So how do we notice that? So we take a look, right? We take a look at our nutrition facts on all of our food. And from there, once we scan it or we plug it in, it might say that this one right here for the serving size, so for a half a cup, I get 27 grams of carbohydrates. All right. So if my daily allowance is only maybe 200 and I have 27, almost 30 throughout that entire day, I mean, in this one meal, then I know how I have to divvy it up. And we could do numbers like, depending on how many times a day you eat, this is a math equation that you guys can do. So, say you have 6 meals a day, all of those numbers, you can go ahead and divide them by six. Or if you're planning on eating 5 times a day, you can divide it by five. And it'll tell you how many grams you should have each meal throughout your entire day. And that makes it a little bit easier. I didn't do that because I didn't want to force you guys into eating 6 times a day, 3 times a day, or 5 times a day. I want you to go ahead and do that on your own. But I will tell you, if you divide whatever those grams, that number is in grams, by how many times you plan on eating per day, then you'll have a total for each meal per meal. So it might come out to saying that you're supposed to have maybe 30 grams per meal, and that makes it a little bit easier. The last thing you want to do is not know your entire day. So when I say that, don't start your breakfast off super heavy with carbohydrates, fats, or proteins, and then by dinner you're like, man, I can only have 1 ounce of chicken, one half of a cup of potato or rice, and then no fat, and because now you're going to be hungry. So make sure you spread out all of your nutrients and your macro distribution properly, so that you're not having just a little bit at one point in time when you want to go ahead and have your steak or chicken and broccoli and whatever else you want to have for dinner. So sometimes I like to reverse engineer it, and I'll start all the way at the end, especially if it's a meal that I'm really looking forward to. Like, say it's a pizza night and I really want to have pizza that night. I'm going to go ahead and have my pizza, but I know that I need to go into either MyFitnessPal, MyPlate, or whatever other app that you use for your nutrition guidance that's going to be able to factor that in. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in already and say I'm having 2 slices of pizza. So now I can work around it. I can say, hey, well, that pizza was 50 grams of fat and I'm only allowed 60. So I know throughout the rest of the day I have to watch how much fat I'm going to have, because I can only have 10 more grams of fat throughout my entire breakfast, lunch, and other snacks, because I know that dinner I'm going to have this slice of pizza. So hopefully you guys understand that a little bit better. And if you have any other questions, by all means, go ahead and reach out and ask me. But all of these numbers that I sent you guys are really good numbers to help you get to a goal. And I'm trying to help you guys be on the track to, again, losing possibly 20 pounds or 5% body fat, if not more. If you dive into it and you get aggressive and you stay active, you guys can definitely hit these targets and go ahead and win that surprise cash prize at the end. All right. So good luck. Stay committed. Stay disciplined. Remember, self-discipline is nothing but an increased amount of self-love. So if you guys love yourself, which you obviously do because you signed up for this and you've been coming to We Fit, then stick with it and crush it. All right. Have a good one.